All right, so the first thing in blocking is the right way to do it. So usually you're only going to block if somebody's on base. We've got what's called your primary stance, which nobody's on base, and this is just your catching. All right, always try to have, I call it the 5 points. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always want 5 centered. That's a good optical for the pitcher. If you start trying to catch like this to do the inside corner, it just is out of balance. We want to keep everything in balance for the pitcher. So if you're on the inside corner, you move, your glove's here. If you're on the outside corner, you move, your glove's here. Now, we always see this sometimes. If you're going to throw it high, I always tell the pitcher to throw it at the head, all right, because that's at the catcher's head, not the batter's head. When you're blocking, you go from what's called just your primary stance, which is your feet are typically together. You know, and this, I always tell people to do whatever's comfortable. I was a duck-footed catcher. I would always get down like this because that was comfortable to me. All right, I could just sit here. I could sit here all day long and just catch. It's whatever's comfortable. So I tell the kids, as long as they keep the 5 points, just be comfortable, right? When there's a runner on base, we go to our secondary stance. Your secondary stance changes because you got to get ready. You got to anticipate throwing a runner out. You got to anticipate blocking a ball. Your secondary stance, your feet stagger, and typically your toe is at your instep of your other foot. Now, most catchers are right-handed. If you're left-handed, it's the other way. We actually had a very good left-handed catcher last year in our league, but most of us are right-handed, all right? So you stagger your feet. Now your feet, you want to go from being whatever's comfortable, you want your feet shoulder width apart. So you take that step, you're here, your chest is down and butt up. Chest down, butt up, glove right here. Now, some people teach this. Have you ever seen this? Trying to throw people out, they say it's faster. It's not, and it's dangerous because what happens is you get it, especially at this age, kids will move the glove here and this is here, foul ball, they're out for the season. I never taught this. I always taught this, all right? Back here, just let it lay, let it be relaxed. Not here because this is too tight, just relax behind your leg, secondary stance right here, all right? So now that we're in our secondary stance, to get the concept, I try to do this in stages, and you start with just shin guards. No chest protector, no mask. Don't even really need a glove, but we do the V. Now when you're blocking balls, the one up front is easy. It's just to your knees, got to cover the hole, hands always behind the glove, cover the hole, and round your shoulders, tuck your chin. All the masks have that little thing on it there. It's to cover this, you tuck your chin. What you want that ball to do is when it hits, you want everything to land right here. If it kicks out there, it's not a good, you may as well let it go back to the backstop. So here, not back here, because it hits, it's going to careen. You want to be forward, up on your knees, shoulders rolled, and you just want to catch. I do this is called dry blocking. There's a reason those two balls are there. Because if that ball, if there's a right-handed pitcher and that ball's going outside and I go here and block right here, that ball's coming at an angle and it's going to hit and it's going to go that way. So every time you block and you're blocking an outside ball, you actually have to block here to catch it just right, to get that ball to fall back here. If you're not turned, it's going to end up over there every time. Now we don't throw curve balls, but it gets even more complicated when the kids start throwing curve balls because that ball will come here and it'll actually kick that way. So you have to know what they're throwing and you have to block it appropriately. But I set this up and I'll just sit here as a coach, got the kid back there and you just point, block, middle, left, right, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And get them up, make sure they go from, make sure they get back here, they get reset. If you go block, boom, here. All right? Dry blocking is probably where you're going to get your most bang at the AA level, because that ball's not hitting them yet. You want to get this down first. Once you get this down, take the balls away, use tennis balls. Tennis balls, no chest protector. All right? And then do that some. Let them learn how to do that. Then throw the chest protector on, and then just start lobbing them in there. All right? But remember, it's always a bowl shape. You never just block side to side. All right? Once you do block it, now, so let's say I just blocked this ball and it's laying out here. This is just, you block it, you come out. This is the biggest mistake at this age, but it's also the easiest one to fix. Kids grab it here, like this, right? They grab it, you gotta come here, then you gotta come here. Anytime a catcher has a ball, and pitchers need to learn this too, and even third baseman, you always push the ball in. You want to make a divot in the ground almost when you get that ball. So that ball's there, it's down, back. So after you block it, it's not over, right? You still got to play. And the best way to make that play is down and back. All right? Not this and then this. All right? Like I said, they're probably not going to block many balls. So a lot of people say, what happened? Huh? Yeah, on purpose. They'll glove a lot. So let's say that ball gets by, right? So it's back there. Well, they miss it, it goes back. They need to learn how to, we don't go back, pick it up and make the play, right? They missed it, boom, here, all right? That's the only way you'll make that play. But you gotta practice it. The kids, it'll take a little while to pick that one up. Blocking, anything else on blocking? I know I'm kind of gonna mow through this. Any questions? I should have done this part first, but just catching. That's going to be, for AA especially, most of the balls that are going to be missed are going to be here or here. Most people can catch these. Again, get a tennis ball. Here, stand out here for a sec. I want you to just toss them to me. Just toss them like that to me underhand. So it's like driving a car. It's like driving a car. This is the steering wheel. When you catch, these kids need to learn to move their glove. The low one is here. It's not here. All right, so it's here. So you just get a tennis ball and you just throw it to them and just teach them to catch without a glove. Just teach them to catch without a glove. And then once you get this down, then do this drill with a glove and get them. This is also the biggest. I tried to get the league to let everybody use regular gloves in AA. Can't do it. You got to use catcher's mitts. This is going to be a big problem for you guys. And you're going to have to figure out a way to the kids have to just put it on and they got to figure it out. But it's here and remember, it's here, here, and here. All right? Huh? Don't know. Couldn't get to the answer to that. Other than it's high school, there is actually it is written in the rule book that you have to use a catcher's mitt. But you know, beyond high school, there's not a rule that says you have to use catcher's mitt anymore. Obviously, they use them, but high school is the only rule book, so we go by that. So now let's move on to throwing. Make your kids bounce the ball. I don't care how strong their arm is. I don't care how big they are. I don't care if they can throw it to center field. Make them bounce it. you'll have much better results when they learn that it's okay to bounce a ball. Throw it right at the pitcher's head. Make your pitcher move. Throw it right at the pitcher's head. That's the only way we got guys out last year, was quick and bounce it, instead of slow and trying to just get it down there and muscle it down there. Everybody we threw out was quick and bounced. When you throw, obviously you got somebody on base, so you're going to be in your secondary position. The biggest key, there's two keys to throwing. It's your feet and it's your glove, actually. It's not anything else. I use what's called foot replacement for throwing. And all that means is I'm replacing one foot with the other. So if I'm standing up, it's here and here. All right, so you got your feet are a little wider, but it's not picking up and stepping. It's kind of at the same time. All right, this is a good drill actually for your middle infielders too. When they catch that ground ball, and they're throwing out. Catchers throw off the same mannerisms as a middle infielder would. It's quick, get your body turned, but here's the second part to that. Your kids are going to want to go here and here. Two problems with that. First one is it's slow. The second one is puts a tremendous amount of stress on your shoulder. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. I know about shoulder stress. When you catch that ball, that glove comes here, and your hand's waiting on it. It's here. And then from here, straight down. All right? So it looks something like this. You're here, it's like this. And then from here, you just ripping it. Catchers tend to throw tall, all right? Don't teach your guys here. You're not gonna get anything on this. Catchers are a little, we throw up and we throw down. All right, so you're here, it's boom, right there. You don't want your hand going back before it goes forward. You want it here. So another way to do that is just like the guy I had here earlier, just get a ball, underhand it to the guy, have him just go. And just throw them ball after ball. All right? And get them used to getting that exchange down. When they throw, cameraman, move over just a hair, one way. So, like I said, bounce it. I don't care how hard they throw, again. I want that ball to hit about 15 feet in front of the bag, and I want a good skip. All right, so when you throw, well, that's off enough enough. I almost took out the cameraman. But skip. Another little trick to teach your middle infielders. Whenever they see the ball skipping, what's your natural instinct? It's like this, right? That's how you pick. Good middle infielders start with their glove here and you pick down. So I would rather them miss it and pick the right way rather than pick it and then have to go back down. So teach your middle infielders, gloves waist high, they're waiting on it. Watch the skip and try to catch it and go down with it. All right? Balls to the backside.
What's the score, Jeff?
All right, last thing I can think of, well, there's 2 more things I can think of. Last thing I can think of, though, is there's going to be a lot of, whether they're intentional or unintentional, dink balls, either hit or bunts out here. That's typically the catcher's ball. This is a great field for it because I'll always look, if you're a right-handed catcher, I always take this here as my line all the way out. As long as the ball's on this side If it's straight off, if it's up here, it's easy. You just come, grab it, and throw. If it's in the middle, you got to do what's called rounding it. Because if you go straight at it, then you got to turn and go there. So rounding it, come here, here, round it. Now the grass, if it ends up in the green over there, that's your spin. Come out, you round it this way, here, throw. All right, but I always use that as my line if you're right-handed. All this side, you can catch it front side. All that side, you have to do the loop. I scooped that one. Yeah, I scooped that one. It depends. Because when you're coming around, you're spinning, and it just makes it simpler to scoop on that one. Don't scoop anything else. Pop-ups. Y'all know why you see major league catchers miss pop-ups all the time? They don't fall straight down. Bananas. Bananas back that way, which is why, because when you hit that ball, think about the spin that it puts on it. It puts that back spin, and when it's coming down, it's bananaing back to the infield. That's why catchers, you're always taught, you get out here, you get in front of it, take your mask, find the ball, have it in front of you, throw, and catch it coming into it like this. If you're right on it, and you think you're right on it, you're gonna miss it every time. Ball's always banana back in. I don't think you'll get many of those in AA. Something good to know. Yeah, something good to know. And the last thing on throwing. This is a good drill too if you got guys that you're kind of grooming to be catchers. Just when they're warming up, just have them working on, we're standing up, just warming. Have them work on catching and throwing, just like they would a catcher. So here, boom, boom, and be quick with it. I tried to do some stats last year, some timing stats. Your typical pitcher delivers the ball in about 1.7 seconds. Your runner, it takes about 4 seconds. So you have a lot of time to throw a runner out. All you gotta do is catch it cleanly. You gotta be quick. And I'm telling you, teach quickness over strength any day, and you'll throw some guys out at second. You'll throw them out, I promise you, you will. But the feet are the biggest thing. So remember, it's here, boom. All right?
Brad, you mind going to third?
Sure, okay, good. So this one's harder, but it all depends on where the ball is. If you catch it sort of 3/4 in to out, then your throw is here. If you catch it in, you're behind the batter. If it's a right-handed, we're talking right-handed batter, obviously. So it's here and throw. I always, Chad, stand like you're a batter. Teach them. A lot of guys, when they catch it, they want to come way out here, right? If they have to throw behind the runner. The right way is right there. You want to clip him almost. You want to clip that back side of him right there as you're coming through. Yeah. Uh-huh. Thank you.
I get royalties.
What else can you guys think of? I mean, that's about as fast as I can do it. I know I don't have a lot of time. Sorry you'll have to listen to Brad to get to me, but that's the way they do it here.
What about depth? How deep do you want them back there?
So that's yeah, I mean, you don't want them too deep. I mean, I guess this is about where I stood. So, you know, you're looking at, you know, 24, 26 inches. You know, if they've got boxes drawn, then, I mean, and typically they'll start to wear the holes. You know, that kind of tell you where the guys are standing. I mean, you obviously don't want to be way back here, but you don't want to be here either. You know, you're going to get catcher's interference right there. So I'd say, you know, 2 feet from the tip is probably a good distance. Yeah.
Would you tell the catcher to keep their niche? You found we had to tell the catcher to get the glove down lower, or lower target. Did you find that last year?
Well, that's
They tend to keep it up high, and then the pitcher throws it.
so that's probably got a lot to do with the pitcher, more the pitcher than the catcher, right? What I was talking about earlier is you want to make everything visually pleasing to a pitcher, and you kind of want it to. I mean, it looks like a bullseye, right? If you're set up correctly, and you got that glove right here, it's centered in everything you got here. If you want to go inside, then your glove's here, right? So and you know, it gets hot. These gloves are heavy. It gets tired. I always have where you got to be able to set your elbow on your knee. All right. If you're down here, I mean, that's going to be real hard after a long time. And if you're up here, that's going to be real hard after a long time. So, you know, comfortable right here.
What about when to throw and when not to? What did you find out in Double A as far as
If it got back here, never. If you caught it, we threw it every time. More whether or not you thought you could get them, it was more to just get the experience of making a throw.
So you would teach them how to throw it
Every time. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got a guy on third and it's the last inning and that's the winning run, no. But probably every other time, yeah.
There are a lot of straight steals.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, you'll find that when the guy does get on base, he's getting. I mean, we even told, like, some guys would miss a sign. We're like, steal the next pitch, and you know, and they make it. So.
You guys got thrown out last year.
Yeah.
A lot more than I thought.
Yeah. And Jeff, when they got thrown out too, it was the lower, quick, low throw that even had a good bounce on it. Because the other guy, when they try to muscle it, it ends up there, and it's this big, long, ooh, and you won't get those guys out.
And just another comment, what I noticed in the fall was a lot of times our guys would get another guy out because the kid ran past the bag on the slide or stuff.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's.
Yeah. Third base is going to be your hard one. That's the one. So if there's a throw you don't make, we sometimes did not throw that because of who we had at third, not because of our catcher. So that one, I would caution against that one at times.
But you're getting them in the habit of coming up and throwing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even if you bumble it at second, you know, the guy ends up at third. He's going to end up there anyway. Yeah, may as well just make it quicker.
Sleeping though, a lot of guys they don't usually throw to third. You put a good third baseman.
Yeah.
They don't run as fast from first to second. When they're going to second and third, I mean they don't run as fast as second.
What about the mask itself? I mean, other than a pop-up, I mean, does it stay on? I mean,
Yeah. When the ball's hit to the outfield, you know, they can take it off if they want to, if there's going to be a play. We had a guy last year, batter, was in between swings, swung and broke the guy's arm, broke the catcher's arm. And the ball wasn't even live. So to protect your catcher, you know, you might want to keep that helmet on probably more times than not. When the ball's blocked, it is a good practice because it's what's going to happen later in life to teach them to flip it, because you not always know where it is. So if they do if you do somehow miraculously teach a double A how to block on a regular basis, then teach them that too, because you can't see.
Strongly suggest catchers wear cups.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
5 years minor league
I know.
baseball, I never wore a cup ever.
Yeah.
Catching.
Yeah, and
Is it a requirement?
it is. It is.
I think you gotta wear a cup.
It is. And you'll see too that it's not the ball in the dirt that from the pitcher. It's the foul tips, the ones that come and catch you right on the bottom. I mean, those are bad.
Speaking from experience.
Even with a cup on, those are bad. So yeah, definitely wear a cup. This is an issue too. I mean, we've all taught our kids to throw here, and catching is a complete opposite. It's all right here. It's just boom and quick, and just let it go. Just wrist.
You guys are the best BP thrower.
Oh, I throw BP all day long. I love throwing BP. What else you guys got?
What
That
were the
was
biggest rule changes from 10 to 11 in kind of the growth?
10 to 11. So you're talking international and majors, or from double A to?
The international.
I don't think there are many rule changes. I think it's kind of the same. You still can't lead off. Yeah, I don't think there's really many different. Just the kids are now that you've identified a handful of catchers, and they've got a. Yeah. They got their glove. They got their glove on their correct hand.
10 of the 12.
Yeah. But look, I appreciate you guys, and look, I'm passionate about catching. I think it's a big part of the game. I think a good catcher can make a good catcher or a good pitcher great. And if you've got somebody back there, even on questionable strikes, if your catcher catches that ball, it's a strike. And in this league, if you miss it, it's like, oh well, it wasn't close enough to catch. It's a ball. So I mean, I'd sit there and just underhandle balls and just work on them, working on moving that mid around and catching it correctly. I mean, they're gonna. If you could get the guy to catch, he's gonna grab an extra 10% strikes for you, for your pitcher, in this game. And that's that. And in double A, God knows you can use all the strikes you can take. You're going to be wanting to buy strikes.